Here we go. This morning in the top right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. The blue. God damn it. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Oh no, the man of many names. Ay ay ay. He's he's known as HonMonO at times. He's known as Made Mono as well, or even Hon. Yeah, there's a story behind that one. He's a man of many talents, of course. I think he's cooked Mono over on NA, but here he is Goon Mono. It is HonMonO. Ay ay ay. Not like this, baby, not like this. Oh god. As we're getting into our TvT, you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. I like the name Goon Mono the best. Oh no. Not the Goon Mono. God damn it. Hold on. I need to fix that up. Okay. Where's the filter? Beautiful. As we get into our TvT, again, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Coming into this, Percival is the favorite player for sure, but in the TvT, anything can and will happen. HonMonO is typically a little more mid-game oriented in TvT, but we'll see. It's been a while since we've covered HonMonO against another Terran player. Has been a while. When it comes to when it comes to Percival's TvT, it has been improving quite heavily over the past couple of months. If you're watching Percival versus Bunny, Percival versus Bjorn, Percival versus Cure, Percival, he's been looking like a beast in TvT, and I would say it is his second best matchup. I would say that Percival, he's best against Protoss, then against Terran, and then lastly against Zerg. But Percival, he is an animal in this matchup, and he has been having a winning record against Bjorn as of late. He has been beating Bjorn on a more regular basis. And one of the reasons for that is just because of the frequency of TvTs. Like, especially amongst the Korean Terrans, there are so many of them, whether you're Cure, Gumiho, Ryung, Maru, Bjorn, Bunny, Percival, HonMonO. There's just a lot of Terrans in Korea at the moment compared to the other races, so there's a lot of TvT practice to be had. It's also one of but many reasons as to why Clem he avoids TvT, and he decided to avoid it completely, especially in the European region, in the European scene. There aren't many Terran players at that level of play to go up against, so instead just did commit into playing with Protoss and enjoying it. Again, it wasn't the primary reason, of course, as I mentioned previously. As TvT can be very kind of, I don't know if I want to say rock paper scissors, but it can be very intense, and one wrong move can cost you the game straight up. It's one of those matchups where if you're the first to siege, if you're first to engage, if you get across the map with a drop, there are a lot of these key moments that, if unscouted, I mean, I should say it's very common for your pants to be down in this matchup. It's very common. So one small misstep, and even if you don't make a mistake, like, it can still cost you the game. It's crazy. In general, a lot of mirror matchups are like that. ZVZ is very similar. True. PvP a little bit as well. As we are going to be opening up, HonMonO are going to be committing here into Reaper Hellion early on, and we'll see if he can break on through. Now, Percival, he set up on top of the ramp to get the first shot off, but if you recall, HonMonO, he's committing even harder to continued production. Going for the drop follow-up here, he's going for what looks to be almost a 2-base all-in. Does bypass the ramp, coming in from behind. Armies lining up. The Hellion shots. Yeah, the splash damage here. The Hellions go down. Massive damage here on Percival, I should say, from HonMonO. Yeah, massive damage, does pull away. Behind this, going for the tank drop, and here comes HonMonO. I keep wanting to say Goon. Like, that's why I slipped up. Going into Reacted Viking to rally across the map. Here he comes. Here comes the tank. But again, hyper aggression out of HonMonO. He's not stopping. Back at home, we do have our initial Raven. We have Disable on the way. It should be done in time. HonMonO going for a second starport, a 2-port, 2-base all-in. A bit of an older school build, but it does check out. So 2-port, 2-base all-in. This was very common, maybe like 2 years ago. Very common. The purpose of this build is to have a massive lead in Vikings, right? To have air control, to maintain air superiority, to dominate the skies, and then come in with Liberators, right? And then dominate the ground as a result. Oh, the scan! Percival, he sees the second starport, he knows. And often the reaction to this is to get a second starport of your own, to fight for the sky. So that's what you got. Oh, Reapers, they do step in. Going for the dive, and they do barely get the Cyclone. Cyclone does go down. Gets an SCV as well. Picks off the SCV. Percival, he's investing into a third command center. Remember, he's scouted. He knows what's coming his way. He's getting into his own reactor Viking. So reactor Viking production. Marines are amassing as well. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see a second starport. That is a bit of a concern. HonMonO, he knows he's been scouted. Here he comes. Remember, he's up in Vikings. He has that Viking lead. It's all or nothing for HonMonO. It's going to be 6 Vikings versus 2. Jesus. It's a lot of Vikings. And remember, HonMonO is making 3 Vikings at a time. Behind this, we should be seeing a Liberator. Reapers are getting into the main base. SCVs are going down. HonMonO is moving in. Oh. Nice round. Reapers are dealt with. HonMonO, he does spot the army, pulls away for the time being, but remember, HonMonO, he's still not expanding, he's still making even more Vikings. And this is a unique variation. I was trying to emphasize earlier that often you make Vikings up until a certain point, and then you start Liberator production, but he's still making more Vikings. He's making 4 at a time. Usually you only get 1 reactor. So this is a bit of a quirky build. It's very, very quirky. And ideally, he does want to get within range of the third. Is Reaper opening still being used in TvT? Yes, yes. I mean, both players did open Reaper this game. But there are different variations. As you can go Reacted Reaper, you can go 2-ranked Reaper, you can open just Reaper. You can proxy Reaper. There are different variations. Raven does survive, gets the armor shred off. Very nice connection. The armor gets stripped. 1 Raven goes down. Percival is giving chase, and HonMonO has to get the hell out of here. The medevac! No, medevac goes down the tank as well. Yeah, the tank does fall. Another armor missile goes off. Yeah, once again, shreds the armor. GG gets called. HonMonO out-positioned, and Percival takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. The purpose of all those Vikings was to maintain air control and strip air control away from Percival, but he failed to do so. HonMonO, he was unable to really keep up, unable to engage, and unable to snipe those Ravens ahead of time. It was a really weird build just because HonMonO, he was going into quadruple Viking production, but he wasn't really pressing the advantage. He wasn't really being hyper aggressive. I mean, partially also because he got scouted, and we saw that Percival, he was taking his time expanding. He was staying a little bit further on 2 bases, building up his army, building up his own Vikings, and GG. GG, well played. Again, a solid scan there from Percival, and with that, we're getting into game number 2. As spawning in the... God, they switch places. Hold on. Un momento, papi, un momento. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Blue Terran leading the series 1-0. It is a Percival. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the other South Korean Terran player, we have the Teal Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. The Gooner himself. No. And he's going for the proxy 2-racks inside the natural of Percival. Okay, let's go. Este HonMonO. Back at home, no gases, of course. It's going to be proxy mass marine. Proxy mass marine with potentially bunkers alongside this as well. Oh boy, I say that, we do have the gas on the way. Percival, he doesn't scout. Yeah, he does not scout. Not fully aware yet. Now moving out across the map. And their axes are soon to finish. They're soon to finish up. We do see that Percival's already playing safe. Double gas opener. Oof, double gas opener. What does that mean? That means faster factory. That means naturally he's already going for a delayed expansion. He's already going for a faster factory, and he will have a Hellion production available to him. Meanwhile, HonMonO is setting up his bunker. Marines are amassing. I believe that gas should be for a factory follow-up, I would imagine. As Percival is still unaware, but he's already preparing himself. And he sees no racks. Sees nothing back across the map. Safety bunkers on the way. SCV's going to be targeted down. Nice pickup. Does get the SCV. Boys are being pulled. Army's going to be zoned away. But now there's... Oh, now the Reaper does take a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage. Now there's a third Marine. Yeah, getting up to 3. SCVs are going down. And HonMonO, he's trading well here. Yeah, he's trading well. The Reaper has to back off. And HonMonO, he breaks into the main. No shot. He denies the bunker. Yeah, the bunker is denied. The Reaper just cannot engage. There's the second Reaper in production. And there's no factory. Yeah, big, massive blow here. There's no factory. There's no Hellion. 11 SCVs go down. Critical damage. And HonMonO, can he break through? Down to 2. 2 Marines left. Factory finally finishes. It was so heavily delayed here. Now, what's scary is that on the one hand, Percival, that was a really shaky defense, and he lost 11 SCVs, lost a lot of workers. At the same time, HonMonO doesn't really have many workers himself either. So we're still in a really awkward position here, but I expect as soon as Marines they get into the middle line, they get surrounded. No! Overextension. Marines are thrown away. Now there's nothing here in the bunker. Yeah, HonMonO does overextend. You can see Percival does park himself in between the bunker and the production. Oh, despite that, they still get in. Still do bust into the bunker. Oh, Percival throwing away units. At the same time, he's across the map, killing SCVs. Yeah, sniping as much as he can. Getting 5. Up to 6, up to 7 SCV kills. Aye, critical damage. Hellion's only halfway done, and these Reapers should never be surrounded. They should never be surrounded. This is slowly becoming game-ending. This is quickly becoming game-ending damage. 11 SCV kills. Hellion finally pops out. Going for one more SCV. And almost another. Getting 12. 12 SCV kills. HonMonO is down to 8 workers. No economy. There is no economy here. Not for HonMonO. He lost far too much. And Percival takes a massive lead here. Getting a natural CC on the high grounds. There was potential for HonMonO. There was potential, but... Again, he overextended. Didn't have anything back there to defend. HonMonO making the Marine inside the main. Let's go. Let's go. Reapers are coming from behind. There's a Cyclone though. There's a Cyclone to defend. Nice lock on. Shuts down the Reapers. And GG gets called. GG gets called. The all-in fails. And Percival, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. The hell just happened? GG, well played. Hyper aggressive series here by HonMonO. He doesn't disappoint. He's raised to goon, always. And with that, he can go back to gooning. As he's knocked out of the tournament, Percival, he will advance on into the next round. And where exactly are we? Let's catch up. When it comes to the build itself, again, HonMonO, he did kill, what was it, 12 SCVs? He did do a lot of economic damage, but again, he had nothing back at home to defend, so the counterattack was critical. So many workers went down. So any kind of advantage that HonMonO had, he lost it. Did lose that advantage. GG, well played. And let's catch up on that bracket.